You are not here by accident. You're not listening to this by chance. Something within you, call it divine, call it intuition, call it consciousness, pulled you here because your soul remembers something your mind may have forgotten. You are meant to be whole. Now let me ask you something deeply personal. What if the pain you endured, the betrayal, the loss, the breakdown was never meant to break you? What if it was the activation key to a deeper intelligence within you? One that is always guiding you not just toward healing, but toward restoration. There is a field beyond memory, beyond circumstance, beyond trauma, where restoration lives. Not just the kind that brings back what was lost, but the kind that brings back more than what you thought was even possible. This is how the divine works. You don't just get your past returned, you get a future upgraded. But how? Let's talk about your biology, because your biology is listening. Your body has been wired to survive, to remember pain, to brace for loss. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, sends a chemical signal through your body. Your cells are eavesdropping on your internal dialogue. When you repeat the story of what you lost over and over, your nervous system believes it's happening now. But here's the truth that shifts everything. You are not your past. You are not the event. You are not the wound. The creator, the one who can choose again. The moment you begin to align with a vision-graded quantum shift, you literally begin to rewire your brain, recondition your body, and reset your energy field. This is not wishful thinking. This is spirit. This is transformation in real time. God, the intelligent, loving, creative force behind all things, does not operate in limitation. When you open yourself to the possibility that restoration is already on its way, you begin to receive it. But it doesn't come through force, it comes through frequency. You must become the version of yourself who has already been restored. Feel it. What does that you feel like? How do they speak? How do they move? What do they believe about the universe? Because the second you shift your state of being, the world around you begins to mirror that shift. Restoration is not waiting for the right circumstances, it's waiting for you to attune to it. You're not rebuilding your life from scratch. You're remembering who you were before the loss, before the fear, before the world taught you to shrink. And here's the miracle. When you connect with that version of you, the radiant, infinite, fearless self, God doesn't just restore what you lost, God multiplies it. Relationships more aligned, peace deeper than ever before, purpose more magnetic than anything you've ever known. You become a magnet for a future that looks nothing like your past. So today you get to choose, do I relive the loss or do I rise into the restoration? You are not broken, you are becoming, and the restoration is already in motion. Restoration is not simply about getting back what was lost. It's about becoming something greater because of the loss. In the deeper mechanics of life, true restoration is not a rewind, it's a recreation. When we experience pain, failure, or loss, something inside of us is activated, an inner call to rise beyond our current self. This is the moment when restoration begins. It's not external. It starts internally at the level of thought, emotion, and energy. The body often holds on to the emotional residue of what we've been through. The nervous system memorizes fear, disappointment, grief. But restoration asks us to let go of those old emotional signatures, to release the identity we formed around pain. We can't step into a restored reality while clinging to the chemistry of a broken one. On the other hand, when we experience fear, anger, or sadness, we lower our frequency, which creates a dissonance between our inner state and the external world we wish to experience. To elevate our frequency, we must first become aware of the thoughts and emotions that are limiting us. We must notice when we are vibrating at a lower frequency and consciously shift our energy to a higher one. This can be done through practices like meditation, mindfulness, affirmations, or simply by redirecting our focus to things that make us feel good. By choosing to raise our frequency, we begin to magnetize experiences, people, and opportunities that align with our elevated vibration. When we consistently operate at a higher frequency, we begin to see the world transform around us as the universe responds to the energy we emit. Identity is the core of who we believe ourselves to be. It is the lens through which we perceive the world, make decisions, and interact with others. Our sense of self is often shaped by past experiences, societal expectations, and the roles we play in life. But the truth is, our identity is not fixed. It is fluid, constantly evolving, and deeply interconnected with the thoughts we think and the emotions we feel. The way we define ourselves determines the way we show up in the world. If we see ourselves as limited or unworthy, our actions and choices will reflect that belief. But if we begin to see ourselves as limitless, as powerful creators, our behaviors and experiences begin to align with that new perception. The process of transformation often begins with a shift in identity. To experience true change, we must first change the way we see ourselves. We cannot continue to play the same role, think the same thoughts, or hold on to the same beliefs and expect a different outcome. Our identity is not just shaped by what has happened to us, but by what we believe is possible for us in the future. When we expand our sense of self, we begin to align with higher potentials. We start to act in ways that reflect the person we are becoming, rather than the person we were. The more we expand our identity, the more we step into the version of ourselves that has already achieved the success, the peace, or the joy we desire. This expanded identity shifts our energy, changes our behavior, and begins to create the reality that aligns with this new sense of self. Our identity is the starting point for everything we manifest. It is the foundation on which we build our reality, and as we evolve our identity, we unlock the potential for a completely new life. Wholeness is the state of being where everything aligns mind, body, and spirit. It is the feeling of integration, where all parts of ourselves are in harmony, and we are fully connected to our essence. When we experience wholeness, we no longer feel fragmented or disconnected. We are in a state of balance where our thoughts, emotions, and actions are in alignment with who we truly are. This state is not about perfection, but about acceptance of all aspects of ourselves, even the parts we've hidden or rejected. Wholeness is about embracing both the light and the dark within us, knowing that each part plays a role in our growth. In a world that often encourages separation and division, wholeness requires us to transcend the limitations of duality. It asks us to stop seeing ourselves as incomplete or broken, and to recognize that we are already whole just as we are. When we embrace this truth, we release the need for external validation, the constant striving for approval or perfection, and instead begin to operate from a place of inner fulfillment. This shift in consciousness allows us to experience life from a place of abundance, not lack. Wholeness is also a dynamic process. It is not a destination, but a continuous journey of integration and healing. As we grow, we shed old patterns and beliefs that no longer serve us, making space for new aspects of ourselves to emerge. Every moment presents an opportunity to reconnect with our true self, to realign with our inner essence, and to step into a fuller expression of who we are. Wholeness is the recognition that we are complete, just as we are, and that every experience, every challenge, and every triumph is part of our ongoing process of becoming more whole. Vision is the guiding force that shapes our reality. It is the mental and emotional blueprint of the life we desire to create. Without a clear vision, we are like a ship drifting aimlessly on an ocean, subject to the currents of circumstance and external influence. But when we have a vision, when we know where we are headed, our energy becomes focused and our actions begin to align with that future. A vision is not just a goal or a destination. It is the essence of what we want to experience and create in life. It connects us to something greater than ourselves, something that inspires us to grow, to evolve, and to reach beyond our current limitations. The power of vision lies in its ability to pull us forward. When we connect with a clear and compelling vision, we feel an internal motivation that transcends external circumstances. It gives us purpose, direction, and clarity. It allows us to see possibilities where others may see obstacles, because we are no longer focused on the limitations of the present moment. Instead, we are focused on the potential of the future. A powerful vision connects us to the energy of creation itself. It calls us to become the best version of ourselves, to step into a new identity that reflects the future we are envisioning. Vision also aligns our thoughts, emotions, and actions with the future we desire. When we consistently hold a vision in our minds and hearts, we begin to emit a frequency that matches that vision. This frequency then attracts people, opportunities, and experiences that align with our highest potential. Vision is not merely about visualizing a future. It is about embodying that future now in every thought, feeling, and action. It is about living as if the vision is already a reality, allowing it to guide our present moment choices. Energy is the fundamental force that drives everything in our lives. It's the invisible thread that connects us to the universe and to each other. Every thought we think, every emotion we feel, and every action we take generates a form of energy that interacts with the world around us. Our energy is constantly shifting, responding to the environment, our experiences, and the beliefs we hold. The quality of our energy determines the quality of our lives. When we are in a high vibrational state, feeling joy, gratitude, and love, we attract experiences that reflect that energy. On the other hand, when we are in a lower vibrational state, experiencing fear, resentment, or anxiety, we attract experiences that mirror that energy as well. Understanding that we are energetic beings allows us to take responsibility for the energy we emit. Every moment is an opportunity to choose how we want to show up in the world. It means that we acknowledge them, process them, and then consciously shift our energy to a higher frequency. Energy is also deeply connected to our thoughts and beliefs. The beliefs we hold about ourselves, the world, and our potential directly influence the energy we carry. If we believe we are limited, unworthy, or incapable, we vibrate at a lower frequency. But when we begin to shift those beliefs, when we open ourselves to the idea that we are capable, worthy, and powerful, our energy begins to change. The more we align with our true empowered energy, the more we begin to see the world reflect that energy back to us, creating a life that matches the frequency of who we are becoming. Becoming is the ongoing process of stepping into the fullest expression of who we are meant to be. It is not a one-time event, but a continuous unfolding of our potential. Many of us spend much of our lives focused on what we have yet to achieve or who we think we should be, rather than fully embracing who we are in this moment and trusting that we are already in the process of becoming. Becoming is about recognizing that every experience, every challenge, and every success is part of our evolution. It is about shedding old identities, outdated beliefs, and limitations that no longer serve us, and embracing the growth that is constantly occurring within us. To truly embody the process of becoming, we must release the idea of fixed outcomes and embrace the journey. Becoming is not about achieving a specific destination or goal. It is about evolving into a version of ourselves that is more aligned with our true essence. This requires us to trust the unfolding of life, knowing that each step we take, no matter how small, is leading us closer to who we are meant to be. The process of becoming often requires patience, as the shifts we undergo are not always immediate or visible. But in each moment, we are changing, growing, and expanding into something greater. Becoming also involves letting go of the need for external validation and instead connecting deeply with our inner knowing. As we cultivate a deeper sense of self-trust, we begin to act in alignment with our true desires, regardless of external circumstances or opinions. This is when the magic happens, when we stop waiting for permission to step into our greatness and instead choose to become that greatness in the here and now.